There's a bit of mindless, unskilled welding going on today. No planning and no precision required, so let's have a look at what I've got here. I've got a pile of exhaust pipe offcuts. Let's see what we can do with this. The first step is to cut them up into small pieces of relatively the same size. And I'll need lots of them. I can't hold the shorter bits in the chop saw, so I have to do it the old manual method. So here's what I've got so far. Little piles of exhaust pipe. I'm going to arrange something like that. So there's all the bits all cut out. And first thing I'm going to do is paint them, which is really weird because I'm going to weld these things together. But the reason I'm painting them first is to give them that ye olde antique type look. And I'm just using the flux core wire with the MIG gun, so I'm not using gas. So very basic and fairly rough too, but really easy to do. This sort of welding requires no skill whatsoever. It's just a matter of point and press the button. And I build up my various layers of bits. Okay, the last couple are welded, and I've got all those pieces welded together in a sort of a body-shaped lump. Now a bit of bench-aided CAD design. I want to shape something like that, and to work out how long that shape is, it's just a matter of using a bit of string and going around the shape and using just a little bit extra that I'll trim off later. So I want a strip that's that long. I'm just using a bit of scrap that's got a bit of a pattern on it, just for a little bit of interest, and cutting it off with the cut-off wheel. Using the intricate design on my bench, I very precisely bend it around to the shape. Now, because I want to enclose that shape, I'm just tracing around it with the pen, 2 bits, and then I'm going to again paint these before I weld them together. This time in black instead of white. That black bit's going to form a head, and now I'm just beating the crap out of these pieces of metal to form what are going to be ears. And I'm going to need a number of pieces of round stock as well, so I'm just using this bit of old pipe that's already painted. And these pieces will be put together something like this. Okay, I've got a body, I've got a head, I've got some ears, and now I'm creating some eyes. Now it's time for some legs. A slightly smaller diameter pipe. It's still looking pretty weird at this stage. but it'll get better. The tail's next. The good thing about the flux core wire is that it just burns through anything. The material doesn't have to be completely clean like in a TIG process, so the paint really doesn't matter. Okay, now we're getting a bit of character. I've got some nose holes made out of bolts. The eyes have been welded on. Now I can weld the back of the head on, and we'll start to see the shape forming. But again, I'm only tack welding. The welds burn the paint and they show up, but that's exactly the look that I want. You can now start to see what's being formed. The head's almost finished. I've got another piece of pipe for a neck, so I'll weld that on, and then that can be welded onto the body. All very simple, but really easy to do too. Just a bit of mindless fun in the shed where no precision is required. No sanding or fine finishing or painting. The rough look is exactly what I'm after here. I'm going to put the head on just on a slight angle to give him a little bit of character. With the ears attached, he's really starting to look like something. So now for the finishing touch, his woolly head. And my post-apocalyptic sheep will be finished. So a touch up with a little bit of extra paint to give it a bit of colour. And there's my sheep, ready to live outdoors at my daughter's place. So that was a fun way to use what otherwise would just be scrap exhaust pipe.